Welcome back, guys. Welcome to Warp Factor Fiction. We're back. But you got to make sure you're following us. You got to make sure you're hitting that follow button, that like button, that subscribe button. You got to also rate and review us. We really appreciate it when you do that. It goes a long way because we love doing this. We love doing this and talking to you guys. And also make sure when you're following us at the Scene Snobs, talk to us. Tell us what you think about these episodes as we go. It's such a great time to interact and stuff like that. But of course, I am your host, Mick Manhattan, and I am joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host, Cabbage Patch McGillicuddy. Thank you for joining me again today. That's a new thing we're doing. We're actually before we get into it, we have an announcement to make, and that is we're going to be changing format a little bit in the show. We're going to be livening it up a little bit. And by this young man right here, Cabbage Patch, stepped up in a big way in our time off, and he came up with some great ideas for the show to really liven it up. And one of that is going to be like, we're not going to do the format of just going episode by episode anymore. I feel like that drags on a bit when we get less conversational when we feel like we have to get on to the next one. So we're going to do our top five best episodes of the season, our bottom 5 episodes of the season. We're going to try and fix our number 1 most terrible episode from the season, if we can, or our episodes, I should say. And then, but we're going to kick things off now with Quarter Impulse. All right, Quarter Impulse, that is where we just talk about stuff that goes on in Trek that we really enjoy, or stuff that we want to know about Trek amongst each other as fans. So without further ado, let's just get into Quarter Impulse. How's it sound, bud?
Good.
You good, CB? Everything? No, that's a new thing we're doing too. I told him I'm going to start making up names for him. So, but Tommy, of course, is here, Lieutenant Junior Grade. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Can I get a promotion soon?
No. You took too much time off the last month. That I am afraid
you took the same amount of time off, so you should get a demotion.
I still worked. I still did.
So did I.
For Warp Factor Fiction.
So did I.
That's true. You did come up with some great ideas. Very proud of you.
And I watched Star Trek, so can I have the promotion now?
You get promotions at lives. You know how that works.
Well, then can we start live this so I can get a promotion?
Maybe we'll see. No, we're not going live with this one, but we'll see how you do. We'll see. If you can get these 2 seasons done, we'll see. See if we promote you up for next gen. So guys, all right, we're getting silly. We're having a good time with it. We're back again, and we thought for this one to kind of kick it off, we've been through so much Trek already in our journey, starting with Enterprise, and kind of continuing on down the line onto Discovery, Strange New Worlds, into TOS. We're in the animated series now. It's a world of craziness, a lot of stuff going on. So with this world opened up, Tommy, I wanted to ask you, which captains have you found to be the most effective so far out of the ones that you've seen? Now, remind you, we have no Picard yet. We have nobody else because I'm only talking about the ones from where we started. And they don't have to be of the Enterprise.
Effective? Archer was pretty effective. Pike has been effective. Archer, Pike, and Kirk are probably the 3 most effective.
Why do you say that? Like, what's your takeaway from those 3 captains? It's like, what about Captain Georgiou or
I forgot about Georgiou.
Yes. Well, granted, everybody, we've only watched the first 2 seasons of Discovery because this is all chronological order. We will get to the final 3 seasons, which we are very excited for at the end, and talk about them there. So we're only talking about the captains from those first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the tough part. So I get why you might have not gone with Discovery, but all right. Well, but out of those 3, who would you want on a deep space mission to be your captain, and on which? And it can be any. It doesn't have to be just any of the Enterprises. And on which ship?
I'd pick probably Archer on the D, E, or F. No, not the F. No, I don't.
No. Only ships we've seen so far.
I don't get the holodeck. Oh,
no, of course. Why would you put Archer on the E? Archer was such a wartime guy. You're going to give him more power. He's going to go. He's going to go and break every treaty with the Klingon. No, not really. But like I liked Archer a lot, but he was perfect for, in my opinion, his attitude was perfect for his era. Like, because there could be an argument that Kirk could work in the TNG era He probably wouldn't be as effective because, well, no, that's not true, because he was very much an explorer on the show. I think we judge him by the movies too much. But
yeah,
to be honest, I think the most effective is Pike so far.
I mean, but Pike got himself killed.
He didn't get himself. He sacrificed himself to save people. He didn't get him. That wasn't his fault. You're mean.
Oh, I forgot that he sacrificed him.
Which Pike? Because there's some different endings to a couple of different Pikes. So I guess it really depends on which one you're going with.
I know exactly who the most effective is.
Who?
Mirror Universe Kirk.
He was insane. He was a nightmare human being. He was so irrational. Spock knew it wasn't the captain and knew it was from an alternate universe within like 5 minutes. And then their Spock was just had no clue.
Well, also Kirk's. Okay, so Kirk's a better actor. Give him an Oscar.
No. That is not a fair assessment to make, and you should not say that. Wait, which Kirk? Dude, Chris Pine's a pretty good actor. So
no, I meant the character.
I know, I was just kidding. But I wasn't going to give William Shatner that accolade. I tell you though, I gotta go Pike. Honestly, I think Pike. And that's hard to say over Kirk for me.
I still gotta go with Mirror Kirk.
Why? I cannot wait till you get to DS9. Once you get to DS9 and all their crazy Mirror episodes, because they have like storylines that take place in the Mirror episodes.
Yeah, like how Discovery did it.
Even more so, but it's all scattered, like, because Discovery did it really well. This is just like they just have random ass episodes. It's almost like, why are you guys keep crossing over? It's like this never. It was like Kirk did it once, and then they didn't, like, and I'm talking about in actual time of filming these shows. They did it once in the original Star Trek and didn't do it again until DS9.
Mm-hmm.
And then DS9 was just like, we're gonna run with this. Have a good time. I was like, don't you have a war going on? You have no idea what I'm talking about, and I love teasing you with it.
No, I do.
I know you know a little bit. The Dominion War. That's
against the Changelings,
yeah,
who then came back in Picard as slaves to the Borg.
What?
In season 3, they came back in Picard as slaves to the Borg, pretty much.
The Changelings? No, they didn't. Oh, in Picard. You kept saying Picard. I was thinking like when Picard was taken in by the Borg and became Locutus. So I was thinking like backwards where you were thinking forwards. But I get your point now. Yeah, sort of. But I don't want to ruin that for anybody. We'll get there when we get there. All right. So we talked about our ineffective. Don't you facepalm me? Is that what you were doing? Were you doing like a was it Picard facepalm?
No, never.
Yeah, all right, sarcastic little bug.
What did you say? Did you just curse? This is kid friendly.
I said bug. What did you think I said? No, don't say it. Don't say what you think I said. But I said bug.
I think you said.
No. Oh no, I definitely didn't say anything like that. I can read your mind, so no, of course.
No, you can't. What was I gonna say?
You were gonna say, Captain, you are the best captain I've ever known, and you're the most effective, really. Thank you, Captain Manhattan, for being so amazing. Is that what you're gonna say?
Most effective? Really?
Come on. Come on. That's not that bad. You can't say that.
Far off. It's a little bit far out.
All right, fair enough. All right. Well, now that my feelings are done being hurt, let's end quarter impulse and get to our lists.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. You have nothing to be sorry for. I'm just kidding with you. All right. No, I do want to get to. Well, no, that's not all right. I do have a question for you, real quick. Now that we've finished TOS and we are up to this, so we're not ending quarter impulse yet, but for you, in your opinion,
yes.
After seeing all of Kirk and Spock, like that main crew in action, and I know we watched the movies and stuff before, but like, is there anything like, did you find any newfound respect for them? What's your takeaway from like watching TOS? Because I feel like this being the pinnacle, the one that started us off, right? I really want to know what you're like, how you feel about this overall series, and like, like where it falls on your list of like do you really like respect it? Do you love it? What do you feel?
I respect it, but it's one of the worst Star Trek shows I've seen.
Oh, come on. That first season, that second season was really good too. That
It
third
had good
season hurt.
episodes. It had good episodes, but like half of its episodes had nothing and they just suck.
Fair.
And
All
like
right.
a third of those sucky and like over half of the sucky episodes came in season 3, sure, but still like quite a bit of the show sucked.
It feels so pragmatic too that like
Although there were some there were some characters that were quite good, but even in the bad episodes, but just I don't like it. I didn't like a lot of it.
Do you think that now your takeaway with it, and before we get into this season specifically, because in my opinion, it's the worst season, and it is worse by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 5 shining episodes that I have are the shining episodes, in my opinion. Like everything else, I don't know. I'm retiring season 3 of Star Trek at least. I don't know that I'm coming back to watch this one. Which, for anybody who doesn't know, on the Scene Snobs, I'm sort of on a retirement tour for movies and television shows, and my thing is, like, if I'm done watching it, like, I'm not ever going to binge it again. I'm going to retire it. Now that doesn't mean I can't watch episodes from it, but that is what I'm free to do. I'm just free to like see random episodes if I want to, not feel tied down to have to rewatch things, which I feel like is a big thing, especially the younger we're getting, binging. And I just kind of want to go back to like a freedom where I can just like kind of watch things, just enjoy it, you know? So I think season 3 is definitely going to be on that list because this was rough. But I watched a lot of these episodes as a kid too. It's so weird that the later seasons are usually what the show became most famous for in some instances. I'm not saying, yeah, they come from like the later seasons, usually the weaker seasons. Have you ever heard of the show I Love Lucy?
Yeah, you make quite a lot of references to it.
I don't feel like I make a lot of references to I Love Lucy. Do I make a lot of references, or does your mother? I know she loves that show more than I do.
Both of you do quite a bit of I Love Lucy stuff.
I do love I Love Lucy. That was such a funny show.
Swear I've seen it randomly on the TV just like 7 times in 2024.
That's true. It's either that or Golden Girls. 2 shows I'll never retire. Well, those are like, so that's what I mean when I say
TNG.
I don't know yet. I'm gonna do the full rewatch for this, and then I'll see. But that might be a tough. I don't know that I'll ever fully retire TNG, but I also don't know that I need to binge it anymore after this one because I watch it pretty regularly. Like that is a channel on Pluto that I will leave on, and when TNG's on, I can go like 4 or 5 episodes and then just walk away and like go about my day. And I don't mind. I don't feel like I have to go back because I've seen the story so much. Like it was when I was doing Popcorn and Pints for the past like 13 weeks when we were doing all of the Star Trek and Star Wars movies versus each other. I have seen all of those movies so much. Like they would be like, "Are you not rewatching it this week?" I was like, "No." I was like, I'm going to be rewatching it with my son in like a month. So, and we're going to have to binge watch them. And I'd rather like go into it fresh this year, watching them with you. So I told them, I was like, I may watch a couple of them, but just to refresh, but I'm good. Like I have seen all of those movies so much. I can sit down and talk expertly, I think on an expert level about both scenario, both of them. Not like the perfect expert thing, but like, I feel like I could. Okay.
Just give me a random Star Trek movie that you didn't watch for Popcorn and Pints.
Any rant? Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but one that you had to talk about.
Wrath of Khan. Go ahead. What do you got? I'm not an idiot. There's a reason I picked this one.
I know why you picked it.
Yeah. What do you got for me? Don't break my heart over Wrath of Khan.
Oh, I'm not. Okay. The internet's quite slow. Now.
Okay. It ain't that slow for me. Are you pulling up trivia?
Who named the 4 actors of the bridge crew who almost didn't return for the movie Wrath of Khan?
All right. 4 actors on the bridge crew.
Yes. Who almost didn't come back.
George Takei. Walter, how do you say it? Chekhov. Nope. All right. Okay. Michelle Nichols. Nope. Leonard Nimoy.
3 strikes, you're out.
Who? I swear to God.
Kirk. It's Shatner.
There's no way. I don't believe that.
Shatner almost didn't come back because of script issues.
No, I don't
Same
believe
thing with DeForest Kelly. Shatner wasn't sure about playing an older Kirk.
He already did, though. I could see this being for the first movie.
On Screen Rant, on Screen Rant it says DeForest Kelly, George Takei, William Shatner, and James Doohan. James Doohan had a small heart attack before the movie, according to Screen Rant.
I don't know. If Nimoy was signed, there's no way I believe that Shatner wasn't. I mean, I believe he might have held out for more money, but I never believe he wouldn't have returned. No way. There's no way. DeForest Kelly, maybe he was older. I could see it. James Doohan, I mean, God, yeah, if he had a heart attack. Yeah, I completely get it. Thank God they both did, because I thank God everybody returned because it was such a great movie. But there's no way the studio's coming to you and saying, we're making a feature film again, and Nimoy was ready to go, and Shatner was like, nah, unless he was holding out for money. But that, to me, that means like he was always in to do it. And this is pure speculation. But I just, like, with the ego and everything I've read, I just don't feel like I can't see that. I mean, I could see people not wanting to come back because of like Shatner. You know, I can see like people like, nah, I don't want to do it. I just don't want another go around. But and like James Doohan, like when you said he wasn't coming back, I was surprised. Like he always loved doing Scotty. So but a heart attack makes sense. So I don't know. I don't think I believe you. And I feel like I feel like my speculation was good enough to warrant that I like, at least I could talk about this from a standpoint. Like, okay, I didn't know that, but doesn't mean I can't talk about it.
Yeah, well, it just says that's what Screen Rant says. I don't know if it's 100% true, but according to Screen Rant,
you got to go to. You got to go to like IMDb trivia. You know, it's all of it's added by people anyway. You never absolutely know, but like, or Wikipedia has some good stuff. But like, I honestly, you want solid facts? Go to the Star Trek encyclopedia sites. They are legit. They'll tell you. You know, like I don't know if Screen Rant is the one I'm going to go with. Like I like Screen Rant, and I think they report well, so I'm not picking on them. But like, what's carried over rumor? What's this? Because I've heard rumors from movies before where I know they weren't true. You know, but they were like really popular rumors that people still talk about, and I still hear them talk about that. I'm like, I know that wasn't true. Like I've talked to the filmmaker about that. I hear people tell me stories about like the Twilight Zone movie with the Vic Morrow situation, which I am not. You know what? Never mind. That was an unfortunate, tragic tale that I don't want anybody. You're right. Like if there's any kids listening, I don't want anybody going to look that up or anything. But it was an unfortunately tragic tale. He passed away on set. But like I remember my one of my professors in lab. Oh no, not a professor, lab instructor. Very awesome guy. He was a camera operator on that shoot. He didn't do the helicopter shot, but he was there. And like he was like, no, they were saying this happened. They were saying this happened. He was like, none of that happened. He was like, it was more like this. And I was like, that's like firsthand. And then I still hear the rumors kind of thrown in. Mm-hmm. I realized I dated myself. Are you looking at another question? You are, right?
Yes, because this one I can guarantee is true.
I always know when you're not listening to me because you stare off into space because you have something to combat me with.
No, but I was listening.
You
were talking about this Twilight Zone movie, how it was firsthand information. He said this happened, but
I know you were listening. I believe you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How exactly did the Space the Final Frontier monologue change during this movie?
Space, the Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise on its 5-year mission. Well, then they had to have taken out 5-year mission.
But how did that change? What did that change into?
Our mission to explore different planets, find different life forms, to go beyond. What is it? To go. Why am I spacing on this? And I don't want to look it up. Finish it for me. What is to go? I'm in the old one. Come on. To go. All right. What is it? Now I'm getting frustrated. What is it?
So it was pretty much. You were almost right.
Okay. What is it? Tell me what it is.
I don't actually understand. Oh, okay. Here it is.
You didn't have it up. Are you kidding me?
No, but I know what the changes are. Space, the Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise to explore strange new worlds. Oh, no, sorry. Her ongoing mission. It's not its 5-year mission. It's her ongoing mission.
Oh, okay. So they evolved it. So, yeah, I knew it was a 5-year mission.
To explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly go. Yeah. All right. I don't know
Oh
why
wait, no,
I
it's
forgot.
to seek out new life forms, not new life.
I don't know
So-
why I forgot literally the most famous part of that. That annoys me. But anyway, now I'm annoyed. Let's move on. Let's talk about our episodes. All right, guys. All right. So the new format what we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about our 5 favorite episodes of the season and our least favorite episodes. Then we're going to take our number 1 least favorite episode and see if we can fix it. See what will we make changes to. So if you want to start us off, what is your number 5 best episode?
My number 5 best episode is Spectre of the Gun. I thought it was a really good episode.
I agree. I like that episode a lot. It's on my list as well. Mine. Well, anyway, so you guys know, it is a fun little episode where our main core crew goes down and they're stuck at the OK Corral, and it looks like they are going to have to be Wyatt Earp and his brothers and Doc Holliday and have to go and fight the. Oh no! That Doc Holliday exists and Wyatt Earp exists. They are the Clayton gang.
Mm-hmm.
They're the bad guys in this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They're, I guess, the bad guys, but in this, they are the good guys.
In this story, yeah. I mean, they were like the Clayton clan was, but all right. So then that's sort of like a fun little tongue-in-cheek one, but it was really well played. There's some cool messages to it and more. So all right, let's jump on to. So mine was all right. My number 5 was the Cloud Minders. I liked this episode quite a bit. It has a very class warfare sort of system to it, where this rich society is living up in the clouds, and then you have like this what is considered by these richer society a society of what they call lower life forms, where they're actually like intelligent, have a civilization, but they don't see it that way. They just treat them as minors and slaves and such. It's a really well done episode, especially in my opinion, especially when the crew gets involved and what they kind of have to do and to help fix the situation. What did you think of this episode?
It was good. It was kind of forgettable.
Really? I didn't think so. I thought it was well acted in this one. I thought this one had some of the better acting in it.
It was. It just wasn't. I liked the acting, actually. I just don't remember it. Like, after you bring it up, yes, I remember it being very good, but it was forgettable. It was good, but it was forgettable.
I'm actually excited then, because if that's not on your list, I want to hear what your number 4 is.
My number 4 is For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky.
Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about the episode?
So, this one, For the World, it was...
So, basically, the Enterprise... they discover an apparent asteroid that is on a collision course with the planet is actually an ancient populated generation ship. So basically what it comes down to is this asteroid is going towards the planet and is of course going to cause complete, devastation on the planet. But the asteroid also has a society on it and there's riding it out. Like, they don't change course or anything. I thought this was a good pick. I like the crew. The crew's top form in this one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what is about the episode? Why is it on your list?
I really liked it. I liked the asteroid part of it. It reminded me of, it was either a Strange New World or a Discovery episode with the asteroid that was like this altar or the shrine, or was that this episode? Because it was it was a Discovery episode.
Yeah, it was a Discovery, with the shrine.
Yeah.
No, was it? I'm not sure. We have to go back and look.
It wasn't this episode. That's what I know, because there wasn't other humans in that one. There was the glowing beings. No, it was Discovery. Beings. Yeah, it was Discovery, because I believe it was Burnham and them who found it.
Okay. So this episode stuck out to you. That's why it's your number 4. Any special things that really stick out for this episode for you?
The acting as well. Like you said, the acting in your top number 5 was good. I think this might have better acting than Cloudminders.
This one has a fun resolution too, so I think everybody should check it out.
Yeah.
If you're interested. All right, so my next up, so my number 3, I guess, or was it my number 4? I go after you, right?
Your number 4.
So my number 4. No, I said, the Cloudminders number 5. Spectre of a Gun is number 4 for me.
Okay, Spectre of the Gun was really
which
good,
we just talked about, so you can do your number 3.
But what did you like it?
I mean, Inspector Gun was fun. I like the Western vibe of it, but it made sense. Like, it wasn't, because there was that one where they kind of went into a Western type town and they were all dressed down and everything. This was like they're trapped. That was like a good field mission episode, especially one where they get trapped. You got to kind of figure your way out. I like this one because it had that aspects of magic to it that was explained later. But it was just a fun episode. I like that story. I liked how they played it up. I like how they were trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
So it really played well, I thought, throughout the old. What's your number 3?
The Tholian Web. It was an amazing episode.
That's my number 3 as well. So go ahead. Why don't we talk about that? So with Captain Kirk and the derelict USS Defiant, which is connected to our Enterprise days, and we'll get to that. With Captain Kirk and the derelict USS Defiant apparently lost, the Enterprise grapples with the insanity-causing plague and an attack by the Tholians. So Kirk is gone. They went on to the Defiant, which disappeared, right? And we know where it ended up. It ended up in the Mirror Universe, and you see it again in Enterprise with Mirror Universe Archer. So I just want to point that out now. We've talked about that. This is where you get it. This is where the kickoff is. So that's already very cool. Puts up cool points in my book. That's why I think it's both our 3. Then you have the fact that Spock's in charge. All these people are going crazy slowly but surely. And the Tholians are weaving that web. It was such a tense episode. I loved how it played out. And Leonard Nimoy was in top form. The whole crew was. Leonard Nimoy really led the charge of this one. That's why I loved it. How about you?
I really liked it a lot. Everybody was amazing. And something I didn't know until just now, like before when I made this list, it got nominated for an Emmy because of the special effects in this episode.
So I was looking up when you said that, I was looking up the episode itself. But so it got nominated for. I could see that getting nominated for an Emmy. It was a really good, tense episode. That's something like
but it was for special effects though. It wasn't for acting or anything.
That's okay, but it's still an Emmy, and like that stands out. Like the tenseness is built by the special effects of what's going on. That web being built, like. All of the stuff that they have playing out. Look at the when Kirk is kind of phasing in and out. For the time, like now you might laugh at it, but for the time, like if you could think about it from that perspective, that's like haunting, man. It's like seeing a ghost. Like, how did you make that happen? You know, you got to remember, like when this show is on, this is 1968. The television is only about 30 years old. Like in mass production, the television, not even like 10, 20. In mass production, it's only about 20 years old. And television shows weren't even colorized until like when they're only colorized like 10 years before. So to see all of this stuff, like this special effects are so astounding. It's like the stuff that wows today doesn't wow, in my opinion, on the same level as like something like this, something that's so brand new and stark and like really stands out in people. Like I can imagine talking to Star Trek fans who watched this for the first time when it aired and being astounded by that, you know. And I respect that. So like, so to win a special effects award in 1968, like that's pretty damn great, in my opinion. But let's go to our number 2 greatest episodes. What's yours?
My number 2 is All Our Yesterdays.
That's mine. That's my number 2 as well. I think so. Let's just say it. What's your number 2? All Our Yesterdays. That's mine. What's your number 1?
Enterprise Incident.
It's the best episode. It's the best episode, hands down. It's got to be. I knew it was going to be your number 1. It's the best episode. There's no way it's not. The Enterprise Incident it's like the second episode of the season, and they just like nailed it. And then everything after that was just like, that's just not as good.
Well, they had to have it good or nobody would watch it, because 2 bad episodes in a row at the beginode. Oh God.
Yeah,
nobody would watch. Nobody would watch the rest.
And you know what's crazy about this season is like the first episode is really bad episode. Then you get like the Enterprise Incident, which in my opinion goes hands down is like one of the best in the series, right? And then you get to another really bad episode. And then you get to another really bad episode. Then you get to a really kind of good episode, then to a really good episode, then to a terrible episode. It's
you
just
think
like
Day of the Dove was terrible?
Yeah, Day of the Dove was when they both the humans and Klingons are lords of. Oh no, that was a great episode. I'm sorry. So you got 4 great episodes in a row. I thought Day of the Dove was Way to Eden. So for a second.
4 in a row. I'm sorry. In the children's show. Oh no, because World is Hollow and I Touch the Sky.
Yeah. I would say 4 in a row good episodes, with Tholian and Webb ending being the best of them all. Then you had
I
Plato
liked-
Stepchildren, which I liked Plato. What?
Sorry, you go. I liked Is There In Truth No Beauty. It wasn't great, but it was a good episode, I think.
I didn't say that was a bad episode, though. I said, because I said then there was a good episode, then I said, oh, well, I jumped right to Spectre of the Gun. Yeah, no, they're just some crazy ones. But those two episodes. So hold on one sec. All of our yesterdays, which was the second to last episode, and the Enterprise instance was the first episode.
Second,
let me read them all.
Yeah, it's the first episode. We don't. Oh yeah, I thought you meant
no, of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all of our yesterdays, which is our number 2. When Kirk, Spock, and McCoy investigate the disappearance of a doomed planet's population, they find themselves trapped in different periods of that world's past. Very interesting, and I like how they played it out. But what did you think of this episode?
I liked it. I liked the way the plot was run. It was really fun. That plot, I feel like, was maybe it might have been the best written episode.
Yeah, I did like where it went. I like the whole corruption that Kirk met with, and kind of how all that played in, and the backstory of this whole episode.
Right.
Really well done. Again, I like the away mission episodes. I think I said field mission episodes earlier, but the away mission episodes where they get trapped and like they have to kind of science their way out of it. And I liked the deterioration of Spock.
Right.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense to go back in time that you're automatically going to devolve. That makes no sense. That's not how it works. He has training. He trained. There's no reason for him to start devolving into an emotional wreck. But it was fun. So like,
and like later, unless like back in time, his emotion block thing he put on that was like explained in Discovery doesn't work back in time, then
yeah.
Because remember, they have more emotions than humans, but they just block it out.
Yep. No, 100%. And then we have our number 1 is the Enterprise incident, which was the second episode of 3rd season. And apparently insane Captain Kirk has the Enterprise deliberately enter the Romulan neutral zone, where the ship is immediately captured. Just a great standoff episode. Just truly fantastic. And definitely, if you watch Star Trek or you want to watch T.O.S. and you want to watch the really good episodes, which I mean, if you're getting into Star Trek, you should always at least watch them once, I think. But if you are just looking for fun episodes to watch, or you flip it through the TV or something, definitely I say watch the Enterprise incident. Great episode. These 5 episodes in general are really great. All right, guys, so we're going to finish off tonight with our 5 worst episodes of the season for season 3 of TOS. We're not too excited about these episodes, but maybe we have some things to say. So let's go through it. Let's start at number 5. Tom, what do you got for me?
Mine is the Savage Curtain.
Wow, really? For number 5?
Wow.
What was it? I got to ask, what was it about that episode that puts it on the worst list for you?
It would be worse as an episode. It's one of the worst, but it's just too funny to put so low.
Yeah. Okay.
Just, it's so disjoint. It's so bad that it's kind of good.
Yes, that's why I kept it off on my list. I didn't want it in my worst because I do enjoy it. And I always remember, I mean, Abe Lincoln floating through space is always going to get you, but all right, my number 5 was Turnabout Intruder. The final episode of the series, the whole thing is just disjointed. Kirk switches brains with another woman doctor who he had a fling with back in the day, but she was really competitive with him. Whole storyline to it, but it just falls flat for me. I just didn't think it was that good, so it makes my 5 list for worst episodes for sure. What do you got for number 4?
I have Turnabout Intruder as my number 4. Yeah. It was not good.
It was not a good way, and especially considering the episode before it was so good. It's like, why didn't you finish yet? So why don't you finish the series with this? But or at least lie to us and turn it around. All right, my number 4 was Spock's brain. First episode back, it was not good. From beginning to end, there really is like, it's not even exciting to talk about. It's just like a really dull episode. I don't know how they did it, but they came back strong in their second episode. But man, Spock's brain was just a dull one. So what's your number 3?
Mine is Spock's brain. That's my number 3.
It's like right there. It's like we have one brain, and it's Spock's. It's the worst part. Yeah, it was just. What did you? You didn't like this episode either. Is there anything that stood out, like on why you really didn't like it, or?
It just sucked. It's one of the more famous episodes, but it just sucked.
It just isn't really a good episode. I will get, I'll give credit to Nimoy. He does his best, and he was doing good acting in this, but it just wasn't a good story, and everything else was kind of conflated around it.
Yeah.
All right, my number 3, the Paradise Syndrome. I don't know what they were trying to do with this episode, but sometimes it feels a bit racist. Sometimes it feels a bit wacky and crazy, and we don't know where it's going. It's felt like they were trying to send a message in the late 60s with this one, and it fell flat. I didn't like it. And seeing William Shatner run around in indigenous people's garbs, but like TV stylized, like it's so overdone, like it's so crazy, like it just I don't think I could ever go back to that episode again. But yeah, that's my number 3. That was a tough one. So, okay. There it is. My number 3, the Paradise Syndrome. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is The Way to Eden.
That's my number 2 as well. So we might as well just get into it. This was the goofiest episode. It's not the worst episode, but it's the goofiest episode.
It's not.
It is not good. Hippies take over. So hippies take over in the Enterprise and stage a sit-in while trying to I don't even know. All I know is what's his name? Murdoch from First Blood, Rambo Part 2. He was the guy that right at the end Rambo shoots up the whole lair and was like, go find him, there's more out there. Old people know what I'm talking about right now, Tom. I don't expect you to. But he was the guy. He was a famous character actor. But he was this character actor that played like these tough guys.
Mm-hmm.
So to see him stringing along and singing with that little leotard that he was wearing, it was so weird. Like, and it's only weird because of what they were playing, like these weird hippies, and it just none of it worked. I don't understand what was going on. Like. It was like, why aren't you just taking it by force? They're not even fighting you. They're just singing to you and lulling you with their hippie songs. It was such an odd thing. And yeah, I don't know. This episode is so bad. What about you? What did you think of it?
It was so bad. It's just
I'm
funny.
not even against hippies or anything. Like, but it was just like, it was like a poor representation of hippies in space. Hippies in space.
Extremist space hippies take over the Enterprise.
Easily, might I? Just the flagship of Star Trek and Starfleet, the one that is most seasoned in battle, and hippies take it over easily. I don't know. It's just one of the funniest episodes to me because it was so weird. Like they took it over too easily. Like you should be ashamed of Captain Kirk after that. Anyway, let's get to our number 1, which I know is the same. I know it is because I know what the worst episode of the season was. And let's just on 3. 1, 2, 3, and the children shall eat. This was by far the worst episode of the season. I can't even get it. Like I could laugh the way to Eden. I can't laugh on the children shall eat. You want to take this one? What didn't you like about it?
It was disjointed. It was weird. It felt a little bit. It was these children whose parents died are now in a cult.
Go ahead.
To take over the Enterprise from a Force ghost with the help of a Force ghost. It was just not. It didn't work.
It didn't, and they tried so hard. Those kids. Okay, but here's the best part. Again, the space hippies took over the Enterprise with relative ease. The children kind of did too.
Yeah.
The ghost and the children. So are we really retconning that they're the best? Like the most famous crew? Because I got a lot of problems with how they ended this then.
So after season 3, I do not think Kirk would be a good captain for me to lead. I don't want my ship getting taken over by space hippies and children every week.
Could you imagine like writing HR every week and it's just like, well, space hippies took over this time. What are we gonna do here? Come on, Starfleet, get with it. It's just stuff like that. But I gotta say, I did enjoy and to talk about Star Trek, the original series in a whole. The third season was kind of tough to get through. You and I were kind of taking that journey together, but in a whole, I was glad to rewatch everything. Were you at least glad you watched it and got it out of the way?
Kind of, but I also feel like if I wasn't doing this, I would go, if there's a timeline where I'm not doing this, I would go to that timeline if I can and say, do not watch this. It's just not, the good episodes do not outweigh the bad episodes.
Okay. Fair. And I'm not going to defend it anymore. Like, it is fair that, like, again, a lot of those bad episodes, though, like we say bad, they're not. I had fun with a lot of these episodes. So for me, I don't think the bad outweighs the good. I see what you're saying, especially you coming from newer Trek and then coming over to this. It's hard. You're 12. I get it. And I'm not trying to diminish you or admonish your opinion in any way. I think it's sound. But I also have a nostalgic feel for this Star Trek. So it's always going to mean something a little more to me because this was like what kicked it off. This was famous. Even as a little kid, before Next Gen came out, like this was Star Trek, so like this is what you knew. So to come on to it, like, and rewatch it, I was really happy to do that. So happy to do that with you, especially. I know you're going to really enjoy TNJ when we get there, but guys, just so you know, we got a little bit more in this timeline to go. We're going to watch the animated series, so Star Trek, the original series, animated series, and then we're going to do that. Same with this new format that we're doing, taking care of the whole season. I really like this. This is Tommy's brainchild, so thank you for that. This is a really fun way to kind of do the show. I also wanted to say this. For my birthday, Tom got me a Time Magazine Star Trek Special Edition. I wanted to show it to you guys, but I'm going to put it up next to my TNG picture over there, and I'm going to hang it by my Star Trek wall. So thank you for that. I love that, buddy. I really appreciate it. And wanted to make sure to point it out and have everybody. So if you're watching, you saw it. If not, now you know because I talked about it. But yeah, we had a great time with this. Thank you guys for hanging out here on the Scene Snobs. This is, of course, a Patreon show. So if you're a part of Patreon, you're getting this before it goes out everywhere. Thank you guys. We really, truly appreciate everything you do for us, all the support. All that support into the Patreon goes back into us and to make great shows. So if you aren't following us on our channel, please head over, like, subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you know more episodes are coming out. We have such a great time doing stuff. We have a charity script read coming up in May of Scream. That's right. We're going to be doing it May 17th. We will be doing a live script read starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Come check us out. It's all for charity. We're collecting for Hunters Against Hate. It's a great organization. So just come out for a night of absurd fun, reading Scream, and do it for charity. It's going to be a great time. And we are going to be a little disjointed when it comes to Star Trek for the next few months. Basically, how this works out, we're going to do the animated series, put it out. We're going to also try and do the first motion picture. But then young Thomas is going to be going away to his father's for the summer. And while he's there, we take some time off so he can just enjoy and be there and be part of it. And then when he gets back, we're going to pick it up with the movies again. And each month we're either going to do two or, one movie or two movies at a time. We haven't decided yet. And we're going to go through until we get to TNG. So hopefully you guys are still going to stick around and join us, but you can check out the podcast, check out old episodes and more. And we're going to have such a great time doing it. But I want to thank you, Tommy, for being here and just taking this ride with me. You're awesome, and your insights have been fantastic. So, you have anything you want to say before we take off, buddy?
Live long and prosper.
Couldn't have said it better myself, so I'm just going to say that too. Live long and prosper, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Warp Factor Fiction. Until next time, I'm Mick Manhattan. That's Lieutenant Junior Grade Tommy, and we will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.